It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the character portraits that were released for the final episodes of The Walking Dead. With that said, stay tuned. We'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. So obviously, this is the main poster that they released, and of course, like I said earlier, there are character portraits for each individual character as well, which we're going to break down in detail. But for this particular poster of all of the characters together, I don't want to say much because all of these character portraits are basically the characters that we see here without the others. So it's individual characters. So I will talk more about the individual characters there. But obviously, we do have all of the characters here looking awesome as usual. And we have a herd of walkers approaching them, which is pretty cool. Now, I don't necessarily know how much a zombie herd is going to play into the last 8 episodes. Like whether we're going to see a situation like No Way Out or something like that. I highly doubt it. I think the human threat is going to be the most bold threat of the last 8 episodes. I don't think that the walkers necessarily are going to pose any sort of threat, maybe until the last 2 episodes. Obviously, we do have a reveal that there will be special types of walkers introduced, one of which we already got a tease about in the trailer with the intelligent walkers, or what are now known as intelligent walkers, but they're not really intelligent, but you know what I mean. So we do know that there's that aspect of the story, so these walkers in the poster could be teasing at that particular story. And of course, the other type of zombies that are potentially going to be revealed in the last 8 episodes. The next one is the same picture without the walkers, but it's pretty much the same, so not much to break down here. Now we get into the individual characters. So we have Maggie here. Now obviously she's wearing what she's been wearing. She doesn't have any type of signature weapon or signature clothing, so it's just a regular character portrait of Maggie. Of course, she does have the bow and arrow that she uses quite a lot. She's been using that heavily when she returned, but she doesn't really have a signature weapon like Negan did or like Daryl does. But obviously, she does have the bow and arrow, and she has a knife on the other hand, and she's obviously wearing the same type of clothes that she's been wearing, so nothing to break down there. Then we have the man himself, Daryl Dixon. Now it's interesting that he doesn't have his crossbow in hand. He has it on his back, but he is rocking the same vest that he's been rocking for like 10 years now. So that's pretty cool, but he does have another weapon in hand. I think he used the same weapon back in season 9. It was one of those weapons that you swing around. So he's used that a little bit in the past, but it's not really his signature weapon. But this is a cool shot, but not much more to break down here. Then we have Carol, just like Maggie. Carol also has been using the bow and arrow a lot, so that's cool. Other than that, there's not much to break down. She obviously has the long white hair that she's been basically with for the last maybe couple years. So that's all the same. Then we have Negan. Now I would love to have seen Negan with the leather jacket and a variation of his Lucille. Obviously he can't have Lucille because he burnt Lucille. But I was hoping to see him with some sort of signature weapon that resembles his original. It would have been cool, but obviously he doesn't have that. He doesn't have any weapons in hand, which is interesting. But other than that, it's just a regular character portrait of Negan, not much to break down. The next picture is Eugene, not much to break down. He has a knife in hand, so that's pretty cool. Then we have Aaron. Obviously, he has that mechanical arm, but other than that, he doesn't have any other weapon in hand, but I guess that's enough on his own, right? But that's a pretty cool character portrait of Aaron. Not much more to break down here. But what I did notice, and this could be my eyes playing tricks on me, but it looks like his other good hand is also missing. So that's very interesting. I don't know if it's just my eyes, like I said, playing tricks on me. I mean, if Aaron loses his other hand, it would be super weird. Anyway, the next portrait is of Gabriel. He has a machete and a rifle. If I'm being honest, he looks the most intimidating out of all of the characters so far. He has 2 weapons. He looks like he's not messing around, especially with that one eye. So that's super interesting. Then we have Rosita. Rosita also has her new signature weapon that she's been carrying for a little bit now. But other than that, not much more to break down with Rosita. It would have been cool to see her in a Commonwealth soldier uniform, but obviously because of what's going on in the story, that doesn't quite fit. But it would have been cool to see her in that outfit, just so that it's a little different than her previous character portraits, because this could very well be a season 10 character portrait, you know what I mean? Then we have Jerry here. He has a sword in hand. He looks pretty awesome. Not much more to break down with him. And then we have Ezekiel, who has another smaller sword in hand. But other than that, not much more to talk about here. And then we have Lydia. She has that bow staff that I think Morgan gave her. But other than that, not much more to say about Lydia. She's pretty much also dressed in the same clothing that she's been dressed in ever since she was introduced. Then we have Judith. She has the little katana that she carries in her bag. Nothing too significant here or anything that jumps out. And then we have Princess. She has a pretty huge rifle in hand. I think it's the same one that she was carrying when she was introduced, but she looks pretty normal. She's dressed in the same way that she's always been dressed. She has that purple jacket that is very much for her and fits her style. She also has a pink scarf, but other than that, not much more to break down with Princess. Then we have Connie. The one thing I did notice about Connie, which is pretty cool, is that she has some sort of a card on her neck, like she's a journalist, which makes sense because she's obviously a journalist at the Commonwealth. But then we have Magna here. She's carrying some sort of a hammer. Looks pretty cool. Not much more to break down with Magna. And then we have Yumiko carrying a knife. She's obviously dressed in a suit dress, which makes sense because she's obviously recognized as being a high-class citizen at Commonwealth, and also she has a role that requires her to wear that type of clothing. But that's pretty much it. That's all of the character portraits. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm definitely interested to know your thoughts and opinions about all of these character portraits and your predictions about what you think we might see in the last 8 episodes. But that's everything I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.